Hey everyone, welcome to the newest episode of On That Note with Parker Whirling. Today's guest is a band based out of Chicago, Illinois. I actually saw them live a few years ago in Atlanta, and by happenstance, I'm interviewing them today, so I'm really excited about that. They've got a new EP called Power Fantasy, which is coming out November 20th. One single off of it called Fan Age is out right now. You need to go check it out on Spotify and Apple Music. Please welcome Smut. I'm sitting here with Smut. How are you guys doing? You want to introduce yourselves? Who plays what?
Hi, we're Smut. I'm Tay. I'm the singer of the band.
I'm Belle. I'm the bassist.
There's two other members, but they are not here right now.
That's all good. Tay and Belle. And what are the names of the other two guys?
There's Andrew and Sam, who both play guitar.
Shout out to Andrew and Sam. We miss them very much, but we're going to have a great time despite. So, congratulations, first of all, for releasing Fan Age, the newest single in a few years. How does it feel to have it out?
Good.
Really good.
It's a big relief. We've been holding on to that song for about 3 years.
At least 3 years, almost
Really?
4.
Yeah, we've had like an album's worth of music, but we've just been waiting and sort of shopping labels this whole time. And finally, 2020, worst year of all time, we finally got that.
It's our year.
Hell yeah. Hey, congratulations for signing with Bayonet. That was huge.
Thank you.
That's actually how I found you guys, because I follow them on Twitter. So I checked you out and I was like, oh shit, these guys are awesome.
Cool, thank you.
Yeah, of course. So what's that experience been like, being with them, transitioning from, were you independent at first?
We were on a smaller label called Broken Circles that is, I think, defunct at this point. It was extremely small, and there was no contract involved with that. But this feels like the first time we're on a label, and it's been amazing. Bayonet's super nice. They've been treating us really well, especially in like the midst of a pandemic. Obviously, they have to like learn how to navigate it as well as you can with music releases and stuff like that. But they've been super nice and patient, and we've been able to work together really well so far.
Nice. What was it like shopping for labels? What were you looking for? And what advice would you give to somebody when they are getting involved with a label? What should they look for?
Good question. When we were shopping for a label, we recorded, I think, the majority of the songs that we have that are new. We recorded demos of them, and all of our members have like a dream list of labels, and I think we sent them to like every single label on every one of our lists. And I honestly don't have great advice for how to do it, because I'm still surprised we got one, to be honest. But I guess just keep applying like over and over again. Obviously be polite, and trying to be a decent person, but just have songs that you're proud of, make recordings that are as good as you can get them, and just keep trying.
And I would also say, don't settle.
Yeah, don't settle for anything. Like the first label that hits you up or something, don't think that that's it for you. We hired a lawyer immediately. We had a really good recommendation from our friends in another band. So we hit him up and sent him the contract to go over. I would say that's really good advice.
Get a lawyer is good advice.
Because
that's probably pretty smart, yeah.
Having a lawyer is like, once you start to enter the business end of things, a lot of musicians, that's not really what they know about. So having people who work in the industry who can sort of advocate for you in the areas about which you know nothing really goes a long way, because
because we're not business people, and I don't think
We're just regular guys.
I don't want to judge, but I don't think a lot of musicians are in it for the business aspect. So there's a lot of stuff we didn't know. That was really helpful to have someone whose whole job is that, basically.
Yeah.
So it's a pretty smart investment to, get involved with a lawyer when the time comes to sign paperwork for things.
Yes.
Yeah, when you get a
100%.
contract, for sure, find somebody to look over it. It was an investment. I think it was like a few $100, but definitely a good one because you want to go in feeling comfortable.
Yeah. It's better to do couple $100 now than to, a few years later be in this terrible agreement you didn't know was gonna like work out the way it did, and maybe you want to leave.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the contract, I assume all contracts are just full of like this vernacular that is so alien. We read it like
20
multiple
times.
times. We're just like, what are they saying? What do they want?
There's sentences that are like paragraphs long.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that's the best advice, probably.
Yeah.
That's great advice. Haven't really talked about lawyers on the show too much. Yeah, don't settle, and when it is time to get involved, make sure you get a lawyer.
Yes.
Very smart. So what's been the experience like working on your Power Fantasy EP, which is coming out November 20th? So working on that in general, but working on that with a label, like what's the process been like? Have you had the EP for a while and then you showed it to them, or were they involved kind of from the beginning?
Well,
We already had the songs.
yeah, the songs were already written. What essentially happened was we were talking to our friend Alicia in Bully, who recorded the 7-inch. And once we knew we were going in to record these 3 songs, we had already sent Bayonet the demos. So we said, we're going to record like real versions of these. Do you want to release them? And they were basically just like, hell yeah.
Like, why wouldn't we? Of course.
Yeah, but as far as doing that run of recordings, it was really great because it was just really great working with Alicia, and it turned out probably to be the most professional sounding release we've had to date, I think. My friend Nick Adams, he mixed them, and he and I go way back. He's probably one of the most gifted engineers that I've ever met. So we just knew before it was even done, we're like, this is just gonna sound incredible. And I think it does.
Yeah. And with Bayonet specifically, we sent them all of our songs that we had recorded at that point. And when we told them we were recording for the 7-inch, they were just like, which ones? And we just told them which 3. So they just had to like select those, listen to them, and was like, yeah, sounds good.
Yeah, that could work.
They let us do all like creative aspects of it. Like Andrew, the guitar player, designed the cover. We all picked like our album, like the vinyl colors. He designed all of our merchandise. So it's been actually really nice for them to just give us full creative control, and all we do is just send stuff to them whenever we think it's good, and they just tell us yes or tweak it a little bit maybe, but that hasn't happened too much, which is actually super nice.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of trust in us as a band and as artists more generally to create a final product that will be good, which is also a really great thing about working with Bayonet. I think they just trust us implicitly to not screw it up.
Yeah, Belle, you beat me to the punch. I was going to say, it sounds like trust is a very big thing between you guys and the label, and that makes everything run smoothly.
Yes.
Yeah, definitely.
That's so awesome. And it sounds like a dream being able to like, do all the things like pick out the vinyl colors and like collaborate on doing the cover too. Because you know, you hear horror stories about people being signed with a label, and all of a sudden the label's like, oh yeah, you don't actually get to decide all those things for yourself. We have a whole marketing team that's gonna kind of make you into something else now.
Yeah, Bayonet's been like a dream this whole time.
They're just really great. We love them.
Really nice people too.
Shout out to Bayonet.
Yeah.
Big shout out.
Has there been any has there been a different approach to this new EP compared to your previous EP?
Yes. The previous one was like, are you talking about approach like songwriting wise or any like specific?
Really, anyway, when I think about that question, I usually think about, you know, songwriting or the way you produce it, like the way you actually record your instruments.
I think definitely, because I wasn't in the band when the last EP was recorded, but it's definitely a lot more like crunchy, shoegazy. And I think not too long after I joined, it was sort of clear that we were all kind of pivoting in a poppier, cleaner direction. And I think you can really hear that on the 7-inch, you know.
Yes.
The recording's really clean.
Yeah.
Guitars are, they just, I think it sounds really cool. And it's definitely a lot more pop. And we added a lot of synths and drum machines. So it's kind of a new direction musically than the previous release.
And the old record was recorded in Cincinnati. And Cincinnati's music scene is very, I would say it's very punk oriented. So I think most recordings and releases that come out of there, including End of Sam Soon, have that sort of like crunchy, it's just like embedded in like Cincinnati music. We all live in Chicago now. And the EP we are releasing, Power Fantasy, was recorded in Nashville. So it's also just a very big location difference that I can hear personally.
Interesting that the location plays a part into it. When you were in Nashville, what was the setting? Like, how much did the setting play a part of it? Like, can you hear certain influences in there?
Yeah, I mean, we recorded it at Alicia from Bully's house.
Okay, by the way, I have like a major crush on Alicia. So when I was like, are you fucking serious? Like Alicia from Bully. And another, by the way, I saw you guys live in Atlanta. I saw you open for Bully at Terminal West.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Wild.
I did not know that when I reached out to you. Like I said, I saw you on Bayonet's Instagram, did all the research, and I was like, oh, they toured with Bully. That's cool. And then I was like, I should probably look that up. I saw Bully live. I was like, oh my God, I actually saw you guys. And I remember the show. It was awesome.
Thank you. That's wild. Small world.
Yeah, for real. Small world. This is awesome.
Yeah.
I don't even remember what we were talking about. I just got excited.
We're talking about Love and Alicia.
That's right. But
we all love her.
You produced it with her, which is crazy.
Yeah. So the environment recording with her was so nice.
It's really comfortable.
It was super comfortable. She has like recording rooms in her house that are all soundproofed and everything. But she has like all these graphic novels and shit that I was reading while we were recording. But it's just so warm. And that, I think, is just 100% Alicia being a really nice person. Personally recording like vocal takes and stuff, it was a whole different world from any other time I've recorded, just to have this person who's like your friend on the other end being like, sounds great, let's do it this way now. And you're like, you're right, you're amazing, do it this way. So Nashville was super warm and friendly. It happened right before that big like tornado hit. It was like a week before.
Yeah. And also right before the pandemic.
And it's like immediately before the pandemic.
Like 20 days before the pandemic hit.
So it feels like a different world.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's so weird. That's like a whole different era that you recorded that in.
Yeah, the good old days.
Like a different century, it feels like.
So did you guys go to a studio to record it, or was it like in her own like house or something?
It was in her house, like where she lives.
So it's even more like cozy and comfortable.
Yeah, we were playing with her dogs.
Yeah, I think the level of comfort and sort of friendly intimacy, it really kind of lets you just go buck.
Yeah.
When like you're like, let's add some synth here, like let's just write it on the spot, and you know you feel comfortable enough to kind of just do whatever you feel.
It felt very like low pressure.
Yeah.
In that it's your friend, but also we had the confidence in ourselves and in her to know that we were doing something that we thought was really good.
And that's key when you're having to do that for a long period of time and you have those ups and downs where you're like, we're killing it right now. And then a whole day where you can't think of anything interesting to write.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, that's going to take us over to the last 5. I'm just going to ask you 5 quick questions and then we'll be out of here.
Okay.
All right. The first one is in the studio or playing live. Which one do you like better?
Live.
Yeah, for sure. There was no hesitation there.
I miss it so much. We love touring. We love live music.
we love playing. We love showing off.
Have you guys been practicing at all, or are you guys just like, fuck that? We're going to wait a little bit.
We have a record release show with Baby TV, which is Baby's All Right, in Brooklyn, and that's on November 20th. So we've been getting ready for that.
But it's going to be a live stream. There's no people there.
Right.
It's not an in-person show. You can buy tickets to live stream it, and it's kind of weird because we don't have a full-time drummer, so we've been practicing without one.
Like drum machines?
Yeah, we will have one for the show. It will be our friend Marco, who is in Hypoluxo.
Who we're playing the show with.
And yeah, they're also releasing a record that same day. So we will both be celebrating our new records together.
Look at that. The stars align.
Yeah.
That's perfect. Hypoluxo. I'm going to have to check them out.
They're really good.
Nice.
They're from
amazing.
New York.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Yeah. Nice. Well, I'll go listen to them. Okay. Question number 2. What's on your musical rotation right now?
Good question. Today, specifically, I listened to Phoebe Bridgers, her new album Punisher, Porridge Radio, who's a British band. They released 2 newer singles recently. They're really good. It's like Britpop, like indie music. And then Gus Dapperton, who I guess is like a pop guy, who I hadn't heard of till very recently, has a song called Posthumorous. And it slaps. He's like screaming on that song. It's really good.
Yeah, Gus Dapperton's the man. He's got some gems, honestly, if you go and search for him.
He can sing and he can scream, and I love the combination.
Yeah, he's an interesting looking guy, too. He looks like an Abercrombie and Fitch model.
With like a weird haircut, but it works.
Yeah, it totally works. What about you, Belle?
I'm the worst person to ask this question. It's kind of like a joke at this point that all I listen to is the Smiths and Morrissey because I'm a very sad loser.
Not loser, just sad. Melancholy. How about that?
I
Yes.
just love Morrissey.
Not as a person.
Not as a person. He's a really bad person.
Yeah, I heard he was kind of problematic. I don't really know. I don't follow that, but
He's really problematic.
It's been troubling me a lot. I'm kind of having a severe cognitive dissonance all the time for years. But I just love the Smiths. I love Morrissey. I think the Smiths is the greatest band of all time. And I'm gonna stop now.
well, give me a Smiths album to listen to front to back because I haven't listened to one front to back. I don't really like get that into them, but I need to for the culture.
Okay. I think a really good place to start is a compilation. Their best compilation is Louder Than Bombs.
Okay, Louder Than Bombs. So it's just like greatest hits, pretty much.
No, they did kind of a weird thing where they have compilations where some of the songs are album songs, and then just a bunch of songs that aren't released on any albums. That's a good, but they've got a lot of hits in there.
Gotcha. And it's called
A little bit of the greatest hits. It's called Louder Than Bombs.
Louder Than Bombs. All right, cool. By the Smiths. I'll check it out. I'll finally like get into the Smiths, hopefully.
You won't regret it.
I won't regret it. I'll let you know what I think. Okay, question number 3. Who's your dream artist or producer to work with?
Damon Albarn.
Oh, yeah. Do you like the new album? I haven't listened to it, but I heard it was pretty good.
It's really good. I'm a big like Britpop. Everyone in the band is a big Britpop person, and I loved Oasis growing up, and then I switched to Blur, and I just like idolized Damon Albarn. I think he did crazy genius stuff with the Gorillaz, and even if I didn't work with him, if I just met him, I'd die happy.
Wow.
Do you have a favorite project of his? Like one album from his entire discography from any band?
That is a really hard question to answer.
He's got
I'm
so
just going to
many.
say the new Gorillaz album, just because I think people should listen to it.
Okay, yeah, plug it. I'll have to listen to that because I don't know. Gorillaz, like, I like a lot of the hits, but other than that, I haven't really like deep dived the way I feel like I'm supposed to. Kind of like with the Smiths.
Yeah, I don't know, like, there's a lot of, like, lore and stuff with the Gorillaz, because they're, like, cartoon people and all that stuff, but even if just on, like, at a face level, I think there's just crazy shit in there, and they've done so much stuff for, like, pop music. I have a lot of respect for them.
Nice. So Damon Albarn and anybody else?
Who would you want to work with?
Brandon Flowers.
Brandon
From the
Flowers.
Killers.
From the Killers.
Yeah.
The Killers got me into music when I was 12. I heard my friend showed me the music video for the song Bones, and as a 12-year-old, I fell madly in love with Brandon Flowers. I was in the Killers fan club for a couple years.
No way.
I'm a big Killers stan. So yeah, I think Brandon Flowers has something really special going on. He's got a really weird voice. He's an incredibly talented musician and songwriter. And I think it'd be really fun to work with him.
I agree. He has a very interesting voice. I didn't really think about it until you just said that, but it's like you notice it as soon as you hear it. Like, you know it's his voice.
Yeah, exactly.
I think Mr. Brightside is going to be like one of the major hits they play on like the 2000s radio in like 20 years, you know, when they only play like 15 hits from this era. I think Mr. Brightside will be like an anthem.
The most popular songs in the UK, like it
never
registers
left the
in
charts.
it's never left the charts since it's been released.
It's never left the charts.
Nope, in the UK anyway.
And it's
Wow.
been, like 15 years, at least.
16, yeah.
It's always
They
been
got
a
it
top.
going on. Good for them. And they're from like Vegas, which is
Yes.
interesting to be like so big in England.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of people, when Hot Fuss, their first album, came out, thought that they were a British band. Because I guess he had...
He kind of has that affectation.
Yeah, exactly.
Interesting. Yeah, from Vegas. Like, how many other bands do you know from Vegas?
Panic at the Disco.
Imagine Dragons. All right, so 2. There you go. two pretty big ones, actually.
Yeah.
Sam
right,
actually just got here, who's one of the guitar players.
Oh, yo, shout out. What's up, man? All right, well, I'll ask these last couple of questions here and then get you guys out. All right. Number 4. Who? Oh, I didn't know if he was actually joining us. What's up, man?
What's going on?
Welcome.
All right.
You got
This
two
is
more?
this is Andrew.
This is Sam.
This is Sam. Nice to meet you, man. Thanks for joining us. We are just in the middle of the last 5. I'm just asking 2 more questions here so you can weigh in on your opinion as well.
Cool.
All right, number 4, underrated artist right now. Who do you guys think are some?
Underrated artist right now. I would say Porridge Radio again.
Yeah, I never heard of him. That's an interesting name.
I don't think people are rating them below what they should. I just don't think a lot of people know about them. But they're really cool. It's like, do you know about like Britpop music?
I know, some, I guess. I don't know if I would like call myself a stan, but I really just don't know that category.
Yeah. Well, this won't mean anything, but the lead singer's vocals are very like Elastica sounding, but it's just really like dirty indie music at the same time. But I definitely think they're underrated. So listen to them.
Nice. Porridge Radio. Anybody else?
I love this band called Super Crush. They're from Seattle. Our friend plays drums in them. Mm-hmm. They're sick. They very like teenage fan club, early 90s power pop vibes, which is just like my shit. So
Nice.
they're pretty underrated.
That's a good one.
They just put out a record on Don Giovanni. It's very good.
Oh, cool. And that's cool to have a friend in a band that you genuinely really like.
Yeah, for sure.
What about you, Belle?
I don't know if I really have one.
Casper Skulls.
I do like Casper Skulls, but I don't know if they're underrated.
Well, I don't know them, so that, that's something.
Then we'll say Casper Skulls. They're also our friends. They're amazing.
They're Canadian.
They're from Canada, which
Nice.
is nuts. Their lyrics are what I really appreciate in any band is they better have really good lyrics. And Casper Skulls, it's like they're just really smart. You can just tell. Like all their lyrics are about, I don't even know. I think I might be too stupid to know.
They're beautiful.
They're beautiful. And their music is just phenomenal. So listen to them.
Casper Skulls. That's a cool name. I like that.
It is a cool name.
They're a super cool band.
Super cool band, super cool lyrics. I'm going to have to check it out. All right, well, this is the last question, and I tailored it just for you guys. What do you think is the holy trinity of shoegaze albums? Y'all can work it out amongst yourselves.
Souvlaki count?
So, as a somewhat of a shoegaze fan,
Andrew, this is a
aficionado,
question for you.
My top 3. I mean, Loveless, obviously.
Loveless is really the only one that I'm like hardcore about. I love that album.
Yeah, me too. I mean, it's like that album like changed my life, which is a very cliche thing to say, but it's true. My top 3 are definitely Loveless. I kind of prefer, if we're talking Slow Dive, I like their first record a little bit more, personally. What is it? Is it Just for a Day? Yeah, love that one. And
I like Souvlaki.
let me just check the Spotify real quick for the third.
I was trying to listen to Slow Dive before this interview just because I knew when I asked that question, you'd probably talk about them. And I like it, but to me, I'm like, it's not even, there's stuff that I've heard doesn't even come close to like what Loveless is. Like,
Yeah.
maybe that's not a fair comparison because to me, like, Loveless is just so...
Loveless is like the peak of shoegaze.
I think it's like
Yeah.
one or the other. Like, I think people either really love Slow Dive or they really love My Bloody Valentine. I'm going to say...
Andrew, do you have any?
Not in technical terms, like a considered a shoegaze band, but Heaven or Las Vegas by the Cocteau Twins is basically shoegaze.
Yeah, I was thinking of that one as well.
Honestly, I don't really like listen to a ton of shoegaze personally. I love like My Bloody Valentine's like my favorite band, but like I don't really like listen to it that much, honestly, other than like that band.
I think
Like
shoegaze,
that band like is kind of transcends the genre in my opinion.
I think
Yeah.
shoegaze is very similar to like grunge music in that there's such a small pool really to choose from
Yeah.
in a way.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I think there's a ton of bands that have like shoegaze influences. I think ourselves included. But I don't know if I would qualify any of them as shoegaze bands.
Yeah, that's fair.
The influence runs through like a lot of music.
For sure.
Yeah, I definitely heard a lot of, I heard a lot of shoegaze in your previous EP and in the new single, but this new one to me sounds more like Loveless, where it sounds cleaner, like more like, and it's poppier too, for sure.
Definitely cleaner.
I mean, it's just those tones on that album are just immaculate.
We
Like-
dashed over Alicia for a while
Yeah.
recording that.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean, it's just
yeah,
that
we
good
did.
chunky guitar. Like you can't really beat that in a rock song.
Right. So to end it, we will say Loveless for sure. But what are the other two that we're locking in?
Guess just the song
Heaven
Heaven
or-
or Las Vegas.
No, that's
Yeah, just that song on repeat 12 times.
You meant the album?
yeah, that album. That's the name of the album. Yeah,
Okay.
that album's amazing. It's like
That is a great album.
definitely up there with
And then
the
the
rest.
third would be a Slow Dive album.
Yeah, Souvlaki, sure. Just for
Let's
good,
say
just for good
Souvlaki.
measure.
Yeah.
I'm not much of a Ride fan. I like some singles, but
Yeah, I didn't really dig Ride either. I don't know, it's just a little slow for me sometimes.
yeah. I feel like there's one I'm forgetting, but I don't know. I don't know. Shoegaze was like super good for like 4 years, and then after that, it kind of just like wasn't.
Yeah, it was just its own little blip in time, kind of like grunge. You're right.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, I think that's probably gonna wrap us up here. We'll just say our goodbyes and let's meet the puppy real quick before we're out of here.
This is Peaches.
Peaches. Does he have a sweater on?
Yeah, they're
Oh
her
my
pajamas.
gosh.
She's really old.
Belle's stopping her from crying.
Yeah, she wouldn't stop crying. So here she is.
Poor
She's
Peaches.
15.
Well, shout out to
She's
Peaches.
a chihuahua.
He seems
Yeah.
lovely. All right, perfect. Well, Smut, thank you guys for coming and joining me, talking about your music and going over all of our shoegaze influences. I really appreciate y'all taking the time to do this interview, and hopefully I'll talk to you guys soon.
Yeah, thank you for having us.
Thanks,
Thank
man.
you.
Yeah, of course. Smut, everybody go check out the new single, Fan Age, and I'll talk to you guys later.
All right.
Cool. See ya.
See ya. Bye.